What's up, guys? That sound is the sound of the oven. I'll be right back and we can start. Yes. Okay, guys. Well, welcome to Monday, the 27th of April. Another episode of Barrels with Breland, episode 28. And I am your host, Breland Ep. And what I just put in the oven, or I should say finished, I made a little meatloaf. And we'll see how it goes. But anyways, guys, welcome to Monday. Just came back from, where the heck were we? Salt Lake City, Utah. That's where the Cosmic Tour was last at. Friday, Saturday, 2 games, 2 sold-out crowds, over, we'll say about 25,000 people in total for 2 nights. That's pretty good. We're moving along. The cosmic energy is out there, guys, and we're having a blast. So if you haven't been to one yet, get on the lottery list. Get it going. Come see us. The most entertaining baseball you will see. It's a party. It's a whole universe. It's a whole new style of baseball with baseball. So, and we're only week 5 in. We got 25 more cities to go. Next up is Mesa, Arizona. Cubs Spring Training Park, Sloan Park. Yeah, I'm excited. I love playing ball. I love entertaining fans. I love what I do. I'm passionate about being better for the fans, being better for myself, living a healthy life, and enjoying the gifts that God gives me, to glorify Him, to help people, to serve people, and that's all I want to do. So, guys, on the No Filter Network, today, episode 28, we are going to talk about building a championship team culture, building a winning culture. All right? The most important part of any successful team is culture. Without culture, without chemistry, there is no team. It's just a bunch of guys playing individually. All right? Because talent can win games, but a culture wins the championships. It wins the season. Every great team that I've ever been around had something bigger than talent. Okay? We all played well together. We all got along well together. And the biggest factors were the trust, the accountability, the high energy, the standard set, and the brotherhood that we had. That's culture. We all had a goal. We all had a vision. And that vision came from the top. That came from our coaches. That came from our managers. And my best teams aligned ourselves with that vision from the coach. Okay. From our manager. And it was a winning culture. Everyone had a role. They played their role. And that was it. Everyone did their thing. And we entrusted and relied on every single teammate on the team. And that's why I have 3 championship rings, 1 in minor league ball, 2 in independent ball. I also have a conference championship ring from college, from the University of Hawaii. And I want to say out of 15 years I've played so far, 4 in entertainment, so those don't count, but out of 11, I'd say I've been on 8 of those seasons. I've been a part of 8 playoff teams. So almost every year I'm on a winning team, on a playoff team that makes the playoffs. I've learned a lot. I've seen a lot. And I believe I know what it takes to create a winning team, to create a winning environment, to create a winning culture. Because culture doesn't happen by accident, it's built. And it's built from leadership. All right, so what is team culture? The environment your team creates every day. Is it a good one? Is it a bad one? Is it high energy, low energy? What is the culture, right? How are people getting along? How are players getting along? How it's the environment stems off of how teammates treat each other, how players respond to adversity, to failure, to the experiences throughout the season. What standards are being upheld, and what is the standard, and where's the team at, and how big the gap is between what we want and what we're doing. Other things like what gets tolerated and what doesn't, what's allowed to pass. Kind of the discipline of the team that creates culture. Culture is what happens when coaches leave the room. Coaches will set a vision, but the real culture comes from the players within the game, within the team. It comes from the leadership. It's the unseen heartbeat, the unseen energy. It's the felt energy of the team that creates the culture. All right, because culture is not what you say your team is. It's what your team consistently does day in and day out. It's how each player represents the team. That's culture. Okay. What else we got? So let's go back to culture, but let's go back to standards. Okay. Great teams operate with standards, and not just any standards. High standards. Okay, they aren't suggestions. These are like the rules. This is the Bible. This is your commandments for the season. Okay, standards like showing up early, right? Hustling every rep, giving it all you got, controlling your passion, energy, and effort, winning every pitch, respecting teammates. You don't have to like your teammates, but you have to respect your teammates. You have to respect your coaches, right? How can you be better so that you can help the team? By putting the team first. Look within yourself and be like, I need to do this more in order to help the team. It's not I need to do this more so my average goes up, right? But how can you help the team in a way that helps your batting average go up, but also helps produce runs and produces wins for the team, right? Standards like competing in practice, showing up early, being on time, listening to coach. Another standard is handling adversity with a great attitude, right? Knowing that you can't control the results in baseball, but you can control the preparation process, right? What's your composure like? What's your mannerisms like? Those are standards that need to be upheld in this game that create a great player, but also create the best team. So the best teams have leaders, have players on the team that don't let standards slide. Because once standards start sliding, people get too comfortable. People start to not do their job, and that's when you start to lose. Because the competitive edge of holding up standards is what helps teams win. And once that goes, the whole standard of winning and the standards of how to win are out the door, and that's where teams crumble, that's where players crumble. And why? Because little compromises become big problems. So the more you let one problem slide, it goes into a bigger one, and a bigger one, and a bigger one. And eventually, you have a whole mess of problems to deal with. All right, championship culture requires accountability. In this day and age, accountability is lacking. And I can tell you that from personal experience because I see it even now on the team I'm on, but in the past I've seen it, and I've also been the person that hasn't been accountable, right? Championship culture requires accountability. It requires the hard talks. It requires the hard conversations. It requires someone to stand up and say that the right things aren't being done, right? You're not being an asshole by holding someone accountable. You're being a leader. You're being someone that's truthful and honest and wanting to be better. That's what accountability is. That's what a person that holds someone accountable is. So if you don't like being told what to do, then hold yourself accountable to the standard set. Or maybe you need to look within yourself and have better standards for yourself. All right. So next, players' roles. Buying into your role. What is your role? That's one thing you need to find out as a player on a team. As far as baseball goes, are you the gap-to-gap guy? Are you the home run guy? Are you the base stealer guy? Are you the guy that throws strikes? Are you the guy that throws hard? Are you the guy that comes in as a closer? Are you a reliever? Are you a base stealer? Are you a defensive player that hits singles? What is your role for the team? Are you sometimes just the bench guy that always needs to be ready in case anything happens and there's an emergency, right? So what is your role? Yeah, we all want to be the guy that hits 300 or the guy that's just a home run hitter, but that's not how it goes. We all have different body types, we have different strengths, and we have different weaknesses. Find what your strength is, make it stronger. Then go back on your weaknesses and just try to find how you can make them better, right? How you can make it less weak. We don't have to be the perfect 6-tool, 5-tool guy, but let's make the tools that are our strongest the best ever. Make it better than anyone that has all 5 tools, right? Because every player on the team wants to be the star. Every player wants to be the center of the team. And that's just not how it goes. The sad truth is there are no stars on a team. On paper, there might be because they're producing more. But baseball is won by the 9 guys on the field plus the guys on the bench that are supporting roles, right? Championship teams are built when players embrace their role. Some lead off, some hit cleanup, some come off the bench, some lead vocally, and some lead quietly. No role is small if it helps the team win. Because a puzzle isn't complete with, let's say you have a 20-piece puzzle. That puzzle is not complete with only 19 pieces in. There's still a missing piece. So a puzzle doesn't become a masterpiece with 19 out of 20 pieces. It becomes a masterpiece with 20 out of 20 pieces. So in baseball, you need all 9 guys on the field, plus, let's just say a roster's 25. You need 25 out of 25 guys to win. That's just how it goes, because every person plays a part. Your ego might not like it, because it's not what you want, but that's what the team needs. And what the team needs is for your ego to drop, and less me and more team. Okay? Teams fail when everyone wants recognition. Teams win when everyone wants results. So the only way to get results is by playing your role, and that's when a full collective team will win and get the results that they want. When you're focused on the goal rather than the recognition of self, and you're focused on the team goal, that's where teams come together. That's where you as an individual player do what you need to do for the betterment of the team. Energy. Energy is contagious, and it's one of the few things that you can control so wholeheartedly. Like, it's the only thing you can control, right? It's one of 3: passion, energy, 2, energy, and your effort, right? Effort stems from attitude, so attitude. But energy is everything. People see it, people feel it, you think it, and you talk it. Energy spreads. It's contagious. Right, so how you show up every day, how you feel every day is your choice. But let's bring some energy. Let's bring positive energy. Let's bring joy. Let's bring love to the game. Your biggest form of energy is love. If you don't love it, you're not going to bring your best self. You're not going to bring the best energy to spread. Right? Positivity, negativity, belief, and doubt. Those are all forms of energy. What kind of energy are you going to be bringing to the field? What kind of energy are you going to be spreading to your teammates? Are you going to be a complainer? Are you going to be wising off to your teammates? Are you going to be a know-it-all? What kind of energy are you bringing? I think instead of a know-it-all energy, let's bring a learn-it-all. Let's start learning more. Let's start being open-minded more. Let's start being coachable more. That's the energy that needs to be brought. the energy of being fascinated, of being curious to be better, being fascinated to learn more. That energy with a smile on your face and a willingness to work hard and do anything you can to be better for your team, that's the energy that's contagious. That's the winning energy. That's a championship energy. Because one player can lift a dugout and one player can also poison it. And that's why you hear these terms like, oh, well, he's a cancer, because cancer spread. Okay, it's a disease. So you have one negative teammate that starts to slowly spread, and it's a disease that catches on player to player to player. And once that disease takes over and isn't cut out, there's no turning that team back around, right? That whole team has to be cut, and that's where you create a losing environment. Now, one player can turn around that whole dugout, can turn around that whole locker room with encouragement, with support, with leadership by example, right? By uplifting players, by doing the right thing, by staying positive. And the only way to stay positive is by the hope that things are always better. Like there's always the optimistic hope that you put the work in, things will turn around. Okay? Because championship teams celebrate teammates. We don't look for teammates to fail. We don't complain about what he or she is doing or may not be doing, right? Or we don't complain about why you're not playing to the coaches. How about instead of asking, why am I not playing? How about you ask yourself the better question and ask your coach this of, what can I do to be better so that I have a better opportunity to play, and what can I do to support the team so that we can win as a whole? Those are questions you need to be asking, not why am I not playing or thinking I should be playing. Okay? So we need to celebrate teammates more, celebrate successes, and learn from the downfalls. All right? Stay engaged. Even though you're not playing, how can you engage yourself in the environment to support your teammates and to bring good energy? Are you going to sulk in the dugout because you're not playing and like, oh, I don't have a role? Or are you going to, you know what, I'm going to learn from this. I'm going to get better. But at the same time, I'm going to live in the moment and be the best teammate I can be, supporting all of my teammates. Right? You're going to pick all your teammates up. You're going to be the first one hustling. You're flying around the dugout. Like, that's how I see it. Because I used to be the guy, and I also used to be the guy that just sulks and doesn't say anything, and woe is me. The more I've played, the more I've learned that your attitude and your mental performance, your mental preparation is so important to this game, because it will drag your ass down and eat you up. So bring energy regardless of the circumstance. Bring positive energy. Okay, be a learn-it-all, not a know-it-all. The more you want to learn, the better you're going to be. The more willing you are to put the work in, the better you're going to be. Okay, your attitude affects you more than you think. So come with the great attitude, come with passion, energy, and effort. If you just focus on the love of the game that you have, that will carry you through a lot of adversity. Then we get into brotherhood through adversity. Okay. So the only way to get through adversity on a team is going through it together. Okay, brotherhood through adversity. Real team chemistry isn't built when things are easy, because real growth happens when things are hard, things are difficult, challenges show up. Okay, it's built through tough losses, the extra innings, the rough locker rooms that you may have to deal with, bad spread, long bus rides, early practices, slumps, all the shared struggles. That's what builds chemistry. That's what builds culture. That's what builds a brotherhood and a unity, because you're all on the journey together, right? You're all pushing each other. You're all competing. That's what builds you. Successful people don't become successful without failures. The most successful people are the people that just tried one more time and kept going and learned from their struggles. Okay, adversity is either going to divide your team or it unites them. And for me, the best team has some of the biggest breakdowns, but then through that breakdown, the players and the coaches unifies together so strongly and come together with this vision of like nothing's going to stop us and we're unbeatable and we're unstoppable. All right, they overcome it because the goal is to work your ass off and continue to do your role and just do the best that you can do by controlling your passion, energy, and effort. And in the end, things start coming together. And the light's coming and the wind's coming. And by the end of a season, you're in a playoff race or you're at the championship game. It's just a matter of putting one foot in front of the other, picking each other up, and just doing the best you can. Because a championship team gets closer when challenged. So look at challenges, look at failure as the opportunity to be better, the opportunity for growth, the opportunity for patience, the opportunity for love, for compassion, for passion. It's an opportunity to be better in all aspects of your game, of your life. And the biggest opportunity that challenges bring is the opportunity of faith, or the opportunity of hope, that things do come full circle, do come back around, do get better. All right, God designed us for community, for partnership, for relationships, to unite, no matter the differences, because no one succeeds alone. All right. Faith teaches humility, service, sacrifice, and unity. These big four: humility, service, sacrifice, and unity. Right? As a team, every player sacrifices their time and energy to be at practice, to be at games, to do the extra things and go the extra mile. So let's sacrifice and serve each other with the humility that you're not the best and you can always get better, but just doing what you can to help the team. Because then that will unify everyone. The best teammates serve others. They think about other guys first before themselves. The more you serve others, the better your performance will be. Because then you're motivated, you're incentivized to be better for that teammate, which then in turn makes the results that you're producing so much better. Okay? When you serve other teammates, you care more about the mission than the personal spotlight, than the recognition. Okay, and the mission, the goal in the end is to win as a championship team. It's to win the championship, to hold the trophy high, and to celebrate with your teammates. That's the goal. And if you're a team player that cares more about the main mission, the goal of the team, then that's true leadership. That builds the culture, and that's the winning culture. Then we go to God's Word in the Bible. Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 9. 2 are better than 1 because they have a good return for their labor. So there's another saying. You might go faster alone, but you'll go further together. Two are better than 1 because they have a good return for their labor. So your ROI with working together, with working with the team, is way greater than any success by yourself. Because 1, you have someone to share it with, but 2, you have more ideas, more creativity, and more help to create something stronger, better, more reliable, better quality. And that's what a team is. It's a unified group of individuals that come together for a common goal. And that's all it is. Championship teams are not built overnight. It takes time. So you must have patience, you must have endurance, you must have resiliency, and you must have persistence. Okay, they're built 1 rep at a time, 1 standard at a time, and 1 relationship at a time. All we gotta do is ask the right questions, right? Protect the culture, raise the standard, serve the team, and glorify the Lord. Because when the culture is right, winning becomes a byproduct. It just happens. Winning's going to happen. You're like, I don't even know how we won this game. But it's because of culture. It's because everyone's on board. It's because everyone's all in and not in the fucking way. All right? Because when culture is right, championships come more often than the losses. And the losses just create a stronger, better team. So go out there, give it your all, control what you can control. Build strong, lead well, stay faithful. Thank you guys. And that's episode 28, Barrels with Breland Me. Thank you, No Filter Network. Archaea coming out, strength, hydration, recovery, creatine, electrolyte, stick pack, soon to come. Keeps me 35 and forever young. Do the right thing. Lead with faith, guys. Follow me on Instagram, _Smoothie King. Episode 27 is now on Spotify and YouTube as well, so check that out. Share it, like and subscribe. Hey, I'm just doing this to pass the information and knowledge that I've gained in my life. And I have so much more to learn. But I'm so grateful for the opportunity to just talk and get information out there for whoever listens. So thank you, everyone. This will be out next week when episode 29 is actually filmed, which you won't see until the following week. So I'm always a week ahead of what I post. But yeah, follow, give a like. We'll see you next week, everybody. This is Barrels of Breland. The best is yet to come. Love you.